Have you ever been so broken after a failed relationship that you thought you would never recover? We all have a past. A love lost. Not with just that I had lost, but most importantly, a love lost with myself. The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone else too much. I had lost myself. I had lost my confidence. I didn't know who I was anymore. Sometimes you are put in situations to see how strong you are. So instead of saying, God, why me? Why me? I started saying this is what He wanted it to be, so that I could become the best version of myself. This is how I used my heartbreak and pain to heal, to become the person that I am today. And I want to share it with you. So that you and I can grow together. Now, I truly do believe that everything happens for a reason. If you guys are dealing with the breakup or dealing with the whole process of healing, I'm sorry that you guys are going through that. But just remember that your situation is temporary. But you are in control of that. The best part about being broken is that you get to pick up the pieces. Now, I will tell you that in order for that to happen, you do need to heal, and it will take time. And there are processes to doing that. Now, the number one thing that I will say is you need to grieve and process. And the thing about grieving is that, I'll be honest with you, it's the hardest part throughout this whole process of moving on to a new chapter in your life. You will have to weather the storm, and that storm can get pretty bad at times. Sleepless nights, separating yourself from society. Then you take on a new diet called the heartbreak diet, which is when you go days without eating. For some people, you may need therapy. I know I needed therapy. I just couldn't afford it at the time. So I needed to utilize other resources to help me to move forward. And the second part of healing, which is something that I did, is to isolate yourself from social media. The last thing you want to do is get on social media and you see pictures of happy couples and they're living this great life, and it can actually bring emotional memories to you. I know sometimes on Facebook, Instagram, even on Snapchat, it could bring up memories that you may have posted of you and your significant other, and it could just bring emotional baggage to your mind. Which then leads to the other part of that, and that would be to delete your photos from your phone as well as social media. You don't want to keep on going back and just looking at memories and stuff. That's only going to bring you more emotional baggage. It's not the way that you want to live your life, because if you do that, then you might end up doing something stupid, which is calling, your ex, or texting, reaching out, and it's probably not the best thing that you would want to do. So trying to get rid of any memory of them, any gifts or anything, pictures, that would be the best thing for you. Another thing that also helped me, guys, was journaling. Journaling really helps. So you got to understand that during this time, your mind is your worst enemy. It gives you so much time to overthink, and overthinking, especially if you have anxiety like me, it could cause you to, like I said previously, it could cause you to reach out to, your ex or whatever the case may be. And again, you don't want to do that. So journaling, putting your thoughts on paper, writing down how the way you feel, it expresses, it releases any type of emotion so that we don't do anything stupid, or having to reach out to friends or family, which I know friends or family will be there. But if you're constantly always reaching out to them, they have their own lives. And if you reach out to them with your emotional baggage, it could bring negative energy to them. So that's something that you don't want to do. So journaling, putting your thoughts on paper could also help. But also one other thing too, when you're journaling, don't write down just all the negative things or days. Always write down some positive things or some positive days. And also, while you're processing this breakup, take the time to think about things that maybe you could have worked on. Write those things down. And if you can write them down, acknowledge things that you could work on, that also helps you to become the best version of yourself. Also, another thing, too, guys, whenever you're going through this transition, you don't realize of those that you may affect around you. And while you're depressed and down, it could affect other people. In my situation, I have two daughters. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. Now, 2 years ago, they were obviously 2 years younger from what I stated, and I didn't realize the pain that I was causing them. And to actually hear from them of what they witnessed me go through, it really broke my heart as a father. All right, guys, so true story. My youngest daughter, Amaya, she's always wanted to be on my YouTube channel, but I was always kind of like skeptical of like putting my kids on here just because, I think it's a thing like with all parents, you want to be kind of like protective of them. But, I figured, she's just like, and like a few, I actually did add them. Actually, I think there was like a vlog that I did last summer. Do you remember that? That was when we went like to the movies. It was like a small clip. But as far as like bringing them on camera, like to talk, that was something I was always kind of hesitant. So she like aspires to be a YouTuber one day. So I just figured that I would just let her hop on here. I wanted to ask you something. Do you remember, it was in July of 2022, from July pretty much for like a good period of time, like even going into 2023, like, would you say that your dad was like the best dad to you and your sister?
I mean, well, you didn't really talk to us. You were very much depressed, and you stayed in your room a lot. And whenever me and Brianna would try to interact with you, make you food, you would kind of just like
Reject y'all?
Yeah. You were always in your room. Not that you were like mad at us or something. It's just you were going through a rough time.
And how did that make you feel?
It like kind of made me feel like, does he not want to hang out with us, or like?
And that's probably one thing that throughout my transition of getting through this and weathering the storm and becoming the best version of myself, I knew that it started with you and your sister, and that's the one thing that ate me alive more than anything. Because when you're going through tough times, it's very important that as a parent, you have to be strong for your children. It's very important. Doesn't matter what the issue is, you have to be strong for your children. And I just wasn't the best dad to be around. Not that I was a horrible dad, but I just didn't want to be around anybody, much less my own children. And I knew that once when I was working on everything, trying to kind of get back to being that guy and just being a better guy, it started with, being the best father to you and your sister. And again, not that I was a bad father, but you could just tell, like, you guys probably didn't recognize who I was, huh?
Mm-mm.
So I knew that before I could figure out my happiness, it started with, I have a lot of making up to you and your sister. So what would you say, like, going forward about now that it's been like a year and 9 months later from where I was then to now? Like, what have you seen as far as like the process, the growth?
Well, now you're like really funny, super talkative. You've made so many new friends. I really love hanging out with me and Brianna. It's nice. It's kind of nice to have our dad back. Like, it's like we have our dad back.
And if that's one thing that I will say to you guys, that as you are continuing to work on yourself, as you are going through this change, because again, it's not going to be easy. Not only are you affecting yourself, but you're affecting those around you. And if you are someone who has children, it's very, very important that you do not make the same mistake that I did, which my children were trying to be there for me. You know, they would try to make me food. You know, I remember one time she had a ukulele guitar, and, you know, she knocks on the door, and, you know, I told her to come in, and she's literally trying to sing me a song with her ukulele guitar, just trying to make me feel better. And I do remember at that time kind of like smiling because I thought it was funny. It was the cutest thing. But, you know, when you're going through something that bad, it was just like a temporary funny thing, and then I kind of just swayed it off. But it's that type of gesture, what she was doing as far as with her and her sister trying to be there for me, that I neglected. So I knew that when I had y'all this summer, or the summer of 2023, because this all happened in 2022. So in the summer of 2023, I knew that I had a lot of making up to do for the summer prior. So definitely, guys, do not take for granted of your children, of those who want to be around you. So, yeah. Are you hoping anybody sees, like, you on YouTube? Are you hoping that, like, someone will, because you do realize that YouTube is, like, open to the world to see. Like, Tom Holland, which is your crush, could literally be scrolling through YouTube and he could see this. Is there like a, you know, anyway, we shouldn't be talking about boys. So, peace. And that is why you definitely want to be there, especially you want to be strong, especially if you have kids. You want to be strong for them because they look up to you, and you don't want to put themselves in a situation to where they feel like they are the problem. And I felt horrible. So there was a lot of making up that I had to do, and I was able to do that, becoming the best version of myself. Now, the next step into healing, which was something that was very big to me, which would be to invest in yourself. Now, do you remember in the beginning of the video when I had told you that the most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much? Because you're angry because you put in all this effort, and for what? So do yourself a favor and remember that feeling. That's right. Remember that feeling. Because if they left you, discarded you, they're basically taking a bet that they could do better than you. So use that as motivation to invest in yourself. So be you. Learn to love you. Working out not only changes your physique, but it changes your personality, which then makes you a great catch because then you become more attractive. Now, I say that, don't become arrogant or big-headed and walk around thinking that you're just the most powerful person on earth. That's not what I mean. What I mean is becoming the best version of yourself, and people will come. If you think people are not looking or looking at your social media because they see you leveling up, they see you changing your appearance, and that is attraction. And with you having a good heart and being a good person, that makes you a great catch. For me, I was actually severely overweight. So for me, I wanted to get in the gym and invest in myself because it's those things that motivated me, and I just thought about over and over again. And that's how I use that as another step to my healing process. Now, also another thing too, guys, is learn a new hobby, because learning a new hobby not only gets your mind off of it, but depending on what it is that you learn, you could use that as a level up process to make you more money. And if you become good at what you took on as far as your new hobby, that could essentially make you into the best version of yourself because you're doing new things in your life. And it could be crocheting, it would be being a yoga instructor, a fitness instructor. In my case, what I wanted to do was start a YouTube channel. So one day I got up, went to Best Buy, bought a laptop, bought a camera, and then a few months later bought another camera, invested in some tripods, and I just started learning new skills. I learned to edit. I learned how to film, because being a YouTuber was something I've always wanted to do, and I didn't want to give up on my dream like that. So learning these new skills has helped me to evolve, and it will get me money someday. So that's what I'm putting all my effort into. And again, that makes you into the best version of yourself. Because again, it just gets your mind off of it, and it's your next step to process of healing. Now, guys, you got to understand this While all this may be hard, it's a new chapter in your life. You're basically writing a story for a new chapter in your life. It's very important that you surround yourself with people who will love you and care for you and who will be there for you. I know for me personally, my mom, my dad, and my brother and my sister were there for me in ways that they too helped me become the best version of myself. And my dad was kind of more of, everything's going to be okay. Just listen to what I say. My mom was more of the giving me comfort, listen to your dad. And my sister was more of the person to be real with me. She was the one that will be real. And that's actually people that you do need in your life. So she was there to tell me, hey, look, no, you're messing up on this one. You may have not caused any of this, but you definitely, opened that door for it to happen. So she was hard on me, but I needed that. I needed that to level up and to become the best version of myself. And she's helped me through situations that without her, I wouldn't have been able to get through, because she had answers to certain situations of mine that I would have never been able to figure out. So huge shout out to my baby sister and my brother. My brother was always the one to, it's all gonna be good. Just leave it in God's hands and stuff like that. So, and he was always FaceTiming me with my nieces and always making me feel better. So you always want to surround yourself with a group of people that will be there for you and that will give you the best love and comfort. Now, as I said, guys, this is not easy. It is a process and it will take time. Don't do anything irrational. I wouldn't suggest after a breakup, trying to look for a rebound or trying to use someone else to get over your feelings, because you might end up hurting the other person. Take the time that you need to heal, because healing is very important. And once when you start to heal, as I did, and as I started to grow and as I started to feel better, I started to smile more. I started to notice people from way back in the day reach out to me, and I started meeting new people. I started going on dates again. I started to feel good, and I knew that my confidence was back. And new things started to come my way. I got invited onto a podcast last year, and I'm working my way into things. Now, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, after my separation from where I was, just stuck, if you would have told me that, hey, everything's going to be okay, I wouldn't had I wouldn't have believed you. But like I said, I took the time that I needed to heal, and it turned out to be the best thing in my life, because I feel free. I can sleep at night and I can move forward in life knowing that I did everything possible, to make things right, but also to better myself. Now, if you are someone to where if you do feel like you want to try and make things work with your ex again, definitely take the time that you need to heal first. I wouldn't suggest doing that when you're not in the right emotional state. Find peace, take time, and if you want to try again, it's worth a shot. With you being the best version of yourself and working on the things that you needed to work on, it's worth a shot, because you never know. It could be good. I won't lie to you. I know that I tried that, after when I established peace, and it turned out to backfire on me very horribly. So, but that was my closure. That was my closure, and that's what helped me to heal and to move forward in life. And just know that you are worth something, that you are a great person, great father, great mother, great dad, great daughter, that you are valuable. So don't beat yourself down and think that you owe this world anything. You have to heal, you have to move forward and start to smile again and move forward in life. Now, I will say that when you start to do good, people will hate on you and people will try to bring you down. And it's very important that you do not allow that. Keep your composure, remain steadfast, and everything will work out. Because again, if people don't want to see you grow or see you achieve, they will try to bring you down. You just have to block out the negativity and just keep on moving one foot in front of the other, and everything will be okay. Like I said, guys, it's a new chapter of your life, and it's out with the old and in with the new. So just keep moving forward, guys. These were my steps to healing. And again, for some people, it takes longer than others, but everything's going to be okay. Just don't overthink it. Everything's going to be good. Now, I did notice that I did have new subscribers, so huge shout out to that. If you did follow my channel for the past month, if you did see this video here, 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 and here, those videos were basically me stuck from society not having a car due to my car being in the shop. But as you can see, your boy has his car back and he is back to living life. So remember, like I told you in the last video, things will be okay. Your current situation is not your final destination. God will take care of you, and he will take care of you throughout this whole transition. Guys, if you did make it to the end of this video, I do ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate it, as you could have been doing anything with your time. And until next time.